How is everybody doing today? As promised, I am back with another car video. Doing this at my dad's garage, and Mila's looking really nice. I actually cleaned her off, and by cleaned her off, I mean that I left her out in the rain, and then brought her back and I cleaned her off. So we used to have a Hemi Dodge Durango, and the result of that is having these massive jack stands. So I can literally crouch under my car. There's that much clearance. This thing had to be on its highest setting to get that under there. So that's why I have these extra chucks just in case she decides to roll on me, and the other jack stand's still active. Just sort of found whatever I could. And here's some bikes too for anybody that likes bikes. This is the first like super bike for Suzuki. There you go. I think it's a 1000. That's an 1100, but yeah, so look at this. There's like a miniature house under here that I could build, because even with the shield, there's still like, ooh, wow, okay, I can actually see under here. Wow, I've never had this much room under this car. Anybody who wondered what the bottom of this looks like? Okay, so I might have to get the shield off to get to where the coolant is leaking. Or no, my issue's back here, isn't it? Okay, I got a lot of work to do, because I gotta figure out where coolant is even leaking from in the first place, because I do not recall. I'm thinking taking the shield off might be a good step, so we're gonna take the shield off really quickly. That has coolant on it. This whole thing has coolant and grease on it. I'm gonna get some rags down there and wipe that off too. Oh my god, I love that. That's so easy to get out of. This is actually, I would say, beats Gingium's job. Except for all these bikes right above me. My little brothers like to have like 1,500 bikes, so anytime getting up, you're guaranteed to hit your head pretty much. So the shield's off. However, that doesn't quite solve all my problems, because I have no clue what I'm looking for. I may have to start the car to see where it's leaking from, but yeah, I have no clue where the leak is coming from. Still, that is disgusting. There's so much dirt. I just want to take a flame to this, but there's probably something flammable under here, knowing my luck. But wow, look at how dirty that is. Holy shiitake mushrooms, is that grimy? Ugh. Okay, there's my alternator. At least I know one thing. So, yeah, let's just pop the hood and see if that helps maybe. What I might have to do is just run it for a little bit and let it heat up and see if coolant starts leaking from somewhere. Okay, so last time it was leaking from behind there is where it looked like it was spurting out of, but I can't really see where that lines up with under the car either. Well, let's check the levels too, just to see if maybe I can be blind to this issue. Yeah, no, it lost a lot. Something's leaking somewhere. One issue after another with this coolant. Why do engines even need coolant? Why can't they just go warm? Just gonna keep a bucket of ice water in the trunk and man up. That's the plan. So I've had the car running for like 5 minutes now with the garage closed. So trying to see if I can figure out where the coolant's leaking from, and nothing so far. No leaks. I don't know if it's because it's possibly out of coolant. Perhaps I should put some into the engine. I think that's probably what my next step is going to be. Because before I was leaking out over there, that was steaming, which it still is. I'm not sure. That's connected right to the motor. What is that steaming for? We're gonna detach that, see what comes out of there, and it's hot. That one gets hot, dude. My hands are thankfully frozen though, so yeah. And the car, its oil pressure's good, temp's regular, and it's been running for a while, so the engine's warm again. We're gonna fill it up with coolant, see what happens. Oh guys, Ed Sheeran's new song. It's new Ed Sheeran. The club isn't the best place to find the lovers, so the bar is where I go. So I guess this isn't much of a car video. I probably will still upload it. Because there are some good footage that maybe you guys know what's going on. But it's been running for a while now. I filled it up with coolant. I tried to adjust that hose because it's steaming. I moved it more on, and it doesn't necessarily look like that stopped completely, but I forgot my guitar. I'm gonna see if that's a coolant hose by swabbing under it with the rag, and then we can figure out what type of line that is. Jesus shit, man. There's so many freaking things above here. It's like impossible to walk. I do apologize for my language. Oh, that actually looks like trans fluid. Maybe. Let's see. Okay, there's definitely trans there, because you see the red, that's trans fluid. I'm not sure what that is, but that is definitely trans. So, we're gonna, it's only smoking a little bit, so not a big deal. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what to do. I'm gonna check under it and see if it's leaking again, but the deal basically is that the worst case scenario, if it's still leaking coolant, which I don't see how it could not be, but if it's still leaking coolant, the engine just gets warm. I see it on the gauge in there. I turn the car off. It's like -2 degrees out, so I leave the engine not running for like a minute. It cools down. I'm good to continue driving, so I'm really not too worried about the issue. I do need to change my plates though, because I have new ones, but here's under the car. Yeah, I mean, it's not leaking under here, so there's not really much that I can do. I should try and get that other boot tied up, but so yeah, since it's not leaking under here anywhere when it's running, there's not really too much that I can do. So I really would say this is pretty much it. I'm gonna drive it around today and see if any new issues show up. Guys, so to the level of my car expertise, it's pretty much as good as I can get it, because I don't see a problem under there. The coolant is not spraying. It's a clean belly. Nothing's coming out. The exhaust, no blue smoke. That looks good and healthy. There is still an exhaust leak under there, but that's not the end of the world. Engine's running normal, sounding good. Temp, normal. Idle speed, I lowered it a little bit, so that's where it should be at. Radio's still working, not that that's related to anything. So really, there's no existent problems that I can even really fix. Here's the belly for one last time for you guys. It normally should be, it should be spraying, you'd think, but maybe, I suppose that it's possible that the exhaust was just burning from the engine running wrong for so long, but I don't know. Here is the deal though, for anybody, if I didn't explain this in a prior video. the issue that fixed the misfire issue and the engine running on only 2 cylinders, I ended up suggesting gap the spark plugs to 0.65, which is a very large gap, but that's what it was before. So we ended up trying it, and it worked, just like that. I'm not sure what's up with the engine, why it responds to such a high gap, but that's where it's at now, and it's running fine. So it was running at a 0.4 gap, 0.45 for the longest time, and was having misfire issues. So perhaps there was a lot of oil or something that was building up in one of the cylinders, and now that it's back to running normal and it's not misfiring, perhaps when I drove it over here, I mean, it was smoking bad when I drove it over. Perhaps that was simply everything burning up, and now that issue's gone. So, I don't know. It's a possibility. Either way, I'd say the work that I can do on her for today is pretty much done, which it's faster than I wanted it to be. And I was hoping I could figure out just an obvious leak, but I'm really not seeing anything that is standing out to me here. So I don't know. I mean, it looks maybe it was spurting out of there. That's the only place, perhaps right there, but it's not anymore. Whatever it was, I guess what I'm gonna do is drive it for a while, and if the engine starts overheating, I'll pull it over and see where it's coming out of. The other thing that I have as an option, if it comes to that and the engine isn't running good or there's some issues, is I will fill the radiator up with water, run the car for a while, see where the water comes out of, because I didn't fill it all the way back up with coolant, I just put some in there, but I'd fill it up all the way with water and see where the water was coming out. Obviously I'd have to drain it before I went back out, or else it would freeze and hurt the block badly. But that's good, it's making noises. So it's pulling still. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this long car video where I did pretty much nothing except for talk. And we'll see you guys next time. What's up, guys? So now I am on my way home from school and absolutely starving. I think we're having pizza at some point, and the temp gauge on the engine is done, so I may be pulling over soon. The temp gauge on the engine is a lot higher than it should be, so I may be pulling over soon. I am pretty close to home, so I might just try and make it. We'll see.